Hello and welcome to this Axeman video tutorial on the Chroma Key Effect in Magix Vegas. Go! The Chroma Key Effect, often referred to as the green screen effect or green screening, might be the most popular effect video editors use today. Nowadays, with the incredible technology we have at our fingertips, like what we have here in Magix Vegas, it's easier than ever to pull off. But even though the Chroma Key technology has improved by leaps and bounds over the past 5 to 10 years, there are still some things you should know to make your final shot believable. So what do you need to know to get it done right? Well, let's get started. There are 3 stages to pulling off a believable Chroma Key scene. First is the set, where the filming takes place. Then there's the application of the Chroma Key effect in your editing software, in this case, Magix Vegas. And then, as a final step, you'll want to consider some grading options. Magix Vegas does have some grading tools and effects, but this is an area where other video programs or plugins could come in handy. Alright, stage 1, the set. You'll want to make sure that you plan your shoot well. Think it through. Make sure you have proper lighting. That means having one set of lights specifically to light the green screen or green wall, and another set of lights to light your subject. You'll want to make sure your camera remains still throughout the duration of your shoot. In other words, unless you're planning on replacing the green with another solid color, then you're going to want to stay away from the handheld shots here. Mount the camera on a tripod, and don't move the camera while filming. That means no zooms or pans either. You can zoom and pan if you're using a solid color, but if you're using an image background or a video background, no zooms or pans. The only time you would move the camera during a green screen shoot is if you have proper tracking markers in place, as well as a tracking software to actually track the markers and produce what is called a camera solve that you can then apply to a composite shot. If I've lost you, don't worry. That is all very advanced stuff and you wouldn't use Magix Vegas for it. Here, we are talking about a very simple Chroma Key set. One final tip when shooting a green screen scene is to make sure you are filming in a P, progressive frame rate, and not an I, interlaced frame rate. It can be done with an interlaced frame rate, but you're going to get a better result with progressive. If you'd like to learn more about what I'm talking about here, check out the earlier video in this series called I versus P and how to deinterlace. Stage 2, the Chroma Key Effect. Once you have your footage ready in Vegas, you'll want to add the background you'll be using underneath the track where your green screen clip is. You can do a solid color or another video clip. You can choose to apply your Chroma Key effect to the entire track or just to the video clip. So, first things first, I always add the levels effect to any video clip I'm working with. So we'll add that and then the Chroma Key effect and click OK. First, I'll turn off the Chroma Keyer and adjust my levels a bit to clean it up a tad. The next tutorial in the series will give you an in-depth look at what the levels effect is actually doing to your video. Okay, so now we'll activate the Chroma Keyer, and the first thing we'll do is use this color dropper. Drag it over the color you want to key out and click. Yep, it's that easy. We do have some tweaking to do though, and this Vegas Chroma Keyer, quite honestly, doesn't give you many options. But with the threshold options you do have, you can hone it in to your desired look. In this case, bringing the high threshold down almost halfway and the low threshold up about 1/3 of the way gives us a pretty decent result. But if we play this video to when the light is on, you'll see how everything has now changed. Luckily, for most shoots, your subject won't light up. And if you followed the instructions in stage 1, your lighting shouldn't change at all throughout the course of your video. But if you do run into the need for more advanced Chroma Keying options, you're in luck, because I'm going to go over that right now in stage 3. Stage 3, grading options. As I mentioned before, grading options are not a strong suit in Magix Vegas. So if you're looking for more control to hone in on that perfect, believable Chroma Key scene, you're going to want to utilize some third-party plugins. There are a lot of different options out there, but I'm going to show you what I recommend, which is HitFilm's Ignite Chroma Keyer. This plugin is available in Vegas after you purchase HitFilm Pro, which is expensive. But HitFilm does offer a free software called HitFilm Express that you might want to check out if you plan on going down a more professional path concerning video. So what I'll do is turn off the Vegas Chroma Keyer and add the HitFilm Chroma Key effect. You'll notice here it's called Ignite Chroma Key. It operates the same as the Vegas Chroma Keyer, but gives you a lot more options, like this matte drop-down. Here we'll want to bring the clip foreground in, and then simply bump up the clip background until we feel like we've got our edges nice and sharp. with none of that background leaking through. Now that looks pretty good, but there is still some green spill around the edges. Luckily, this plugin has a spill suppression built in. So let's open that up as well as the spill replacement. The idea here is to match the hand and the edges of the light bulb to the colors of the background. So under the spill replacement option, we'll select a blue color from our background. There you go. It's sort of like a Chroma Key effect inside of the Chroma Key effect. To match even better, we can play with the hue range and hue balance. So now, as a final pro tip, if you have or ever choose to purchase HitFilm Pro, here is how you would approach grading in HitFilm when working with a green screen scene. Here in HitFilm, I've set up our project exactly like where we left off in Vegas, which is a good result. But here in HitFilm, we'll be able to take it another step further with grade layers. We'll add a grade layer on top of our clips. A grade layer is essentially a clear layer that you can add effects to. In this case, we're going to add the light streaks effect and the anamorphic lens flare effect. In the light streaks controls, we'll change the blend mode to add and then bring the threshold almost all the way up to 0.99. Then in the anamorphic lens flare controls, we'll go to the streak and change the orientation to horizontal. Now we'll bring the threshold up and the intensity down to about 0.5. Now you can see that what we've done is created a way for the light of the background to sort of warp around or bend in front of our object or subject, much like what the light would do if our subject was actually in a room with this type of light that we have in our background. This gives us a much more natural and believable result. If you're interested in HitFilm, I highly recommend it. And once I'm done making these Vegas tutorials, I will begin a similar series on HitFilm. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.